Right now, I would like to introduce Sumana Wijeratna. She's an urban planner who came to Canada from Sri Lanka 9 years ago, and she has established the VanLanka Community Foundation to help involve the larger Sri Lankan community into her small actions of aid. Sumana?
Thank you for having me here, and also good evening, everybody. So, I established VanLanka Planning Consulting in 2002, where I continue to seek opportunities to use my experience in the international development field. So, in this quest, I reached out to the Vancouver-based International Center for Sustainable Cities, where I was able to offer my networks and local knowledge of Sri Lanka. This collaboration soon led to ICSC developing 3 successful community environmental management projects: urban greening, poverty reduction, for 3 years. And after that, when tsunami hit, I go back to Sri Lanka and to investigate the opportunities to involve our organization. So we developed we got project funding for SIDA for reconstruction involving women and in reconstruction process. This ended up for another 3 years, where I involved as a project manager implementing these projects. So I learned so much about sustainability planning from this experience and poverty reduction field. So I proven my experience were valuable to the center. A real Sri Lanka VanLanka story began in 2007, when my youngest son turned 13 and raised $500 to commemorate the death of my mother and pledged it to charitable cause. This is a cultural practice of our Sri Lankan community even here. My friends in Richmond also contributed another $500 for the same. This small sum of money and the effort of volunteer youth group in Sri Lanka provided clean drinking water for 15 families and a computer resource center rehabilitating the temple room in a remote village in Sri Lanka. And they started teaching English and also computer for these students, around 12 students, young students, and also around 20 youth school leavers, girls, and mainly girls. In 2008, in partnership with my husband, using Sri Lankan food preparation skills of both of us, we are very clever at making foods. So we involved the Sri Lankan diaspora in BC and raised $10,000 of community funds toward the Kidney Hospital Foundation in Sri Lanka. This successful fundraising effort actually shows the strength of unity of our community in Sri Lanka, in BC, and I continue my effort in community support programs for poor and vulnerable communities in Sri Lanka. As a result, we established the VanLanka Community Foundation in 2010 to involve larger community. Through the foundation, I worked with private, local government, semi-government, and community-level partners in Sri Lanka and attempt to involve Sri Lankan diaspora community here in Vancouver and the larger Canadian community in the activities of the foundation. In 2010, last year, with the help of ICSC and the food catering service of our own, VCF was able to raise over $5,000 towards projects which we can help community economic development and education support program. Currently, we work with 3 communities mainly: one remote rural settlement, Thambavita, and tsunami and war-affected fishing community in Kalarawa, and low-income urban slum community in Vilgoda. These key work areas are community education, community support education, small business for youth and women, and promote food security. I am happy to announce that we were able to send Mr. Gregory Kokoran, a Canadian high school teacher, to Sri Lanka as the first volunteer teacher to deliver 3 free ESL programs for the poor children in regional towns and rural areas, and one of fee-for-service program to cover part of our expenses. My elder son, who was also inspired by the land of his own heritage, both are born in Sri Lanka, pledged to work as a youth coordinator and raised $225 for his 19th birthday last year. And this goes towards the project to research traditional irrigation systems in Sri Lanka, which is a very famous masterpiece of Sri Lanka. We can always use your effort effectively. We use because we don't use charge administrative fees. All donations directly go to communities. We also can issue charitable taxes through my former organization, International Center for Sustainable Cities. My Canadian experience have given me a new way of being an urban planner. I have learned to get out and find out what people need from the bottom line, the ground level. So I am so privileged to be here in Canada, where I can use my experience to bridge the gap between rich and the poor. My philosophy in the VanLanka Foundation, Community Foundation and VanLanka Planning Consulting is to meaning of international development is, not to transfer the technical and financial access to rich to poor, but to ensure the mutual benefits of both countries, strength of both countries together. Thank you very much. If you want to learn more about my company, my working principles, guidelines, and all other details like what we have done and what we are planning to do, you can visit vanlanka.com and vanlanka.net, both websites, for more details. Thank you very much. Again, I'm very thankful to the